Greetings, peers and queers. Welcome back to another episode of Monday through Friday. My name is Jacee, and on today's episode, we will be discussing the history of the bisexual flag. We will also be talking about the pansexual flag, the polysexual flag, and the omnisexual flag.
Do you have a flag?
Bisexuality is defined as both attraction to members of the same sex as well as members of the opposite or other sexes. This is the bisexual flag. It was designed in 1998 by activist Michael Page. But before we can go into details about the bisexual flag, we need to talk about another prevalent symbol of the bisexual community. This is the Biangles. And I absolutely love that name, Biangles. It's just brilliant. The Biangles were created in 1985 by painter and textile artist Liz Nania of Boston, Massachusetts. The Biangles consist of two inverted triangles, one pink and one blue. Where they intersect is purple. The blue and pink triangles might be interpreted as attraction to men and women, with the blue triangle representing attraction to men and the pink triangle representing attraction to women. But more specifically, the pink triangle represents attraction to members of the same sex, and the blue triangle represents attraction to members of the opposite sex. The purple overlapping section bridges the gap between the two. It stands for attraction to people who don't fall into the gender binary, as well as a signifier of one's inherent queerness, being a bisexual. Inverted triangles have represented the queer community and queer individuals since the 1930s. When the Nazis rounded up homosexuals, who were absolutely a group targeted, needing to be removed from society under fascism, patches were sewn to the clothing, either on the sleeves or as armbands, to make classification and identification of different groups in concentration camps easier at a glance. Homosexual men were identified by a pink triangle, while queer women and lesbians were identified by a black triangle. By the 1980s, LGBTQIA individuals began to reclaim these symbols of hatred as their own. They began turning inverted triangles into a symbol of defiance and overcoming adversity. Inverted triangles have become a mark of queer resistance today. The Biangles are considered the very first modern symbol of bi visibility. Originally, the Biangles were printed on pins, buttons, and shirts. Those items were then worn by individuals to denote their identity, to say, hey, I'm bisexual. Look at me. Notice me. Bisexuality still remains an often overlooked aspect of the LGBTQIA community. Bisexuality tends to go unnoticed, especially in cases of same-sex couples and relationships. It is easy for bisexuals to pass as heteronormative, even if this is not the case. If you see a couple where one appears to be a man and the other appears to be a woman, your immediate assumption may be, oh, there goes a straight couple. But one or both of those members might be bisexual. Bi-erasure is a very real and important topic that needs to be talked about more in everyday society. And we are seldom given any positive bisexual characters in mainstream media on which we can actually identify with.
I told you she was a lesbian.
Wow. Good call.
Hey, I'm not a lesbian.
You're not?
No. I'm bisexual.
Oh, snap.
It is all too common that when we are presented with a character who is canonically bisexual, some form of deviance or treachery goes hand in hand with that character being bisexual. Now we can discuss the Bi Flag as you and I know it today. On December 5th, 1998, the Bisexual Pride Flag was unveiled to the public. At the first anniversary of Bi Cafe, a now closed website. The creator of both the Bisexual Flag and Bi Cafe was none other than activist and designer, Florida-based Michael Page. Page had wanted a prominent symbol for the bisexual community, similar to that of the Rainbow Pride Flag created by Gilbert Baker in 1978. The colors of the Bi Flag were inspired by Liz Nania's 1985 Biangles symbol. The Bi Flag is comprised of 3 horizontal stripes, with the pink stripe creating 40% of the flag, the blue stripe creating another 40% of the flag, and the purple stripe taking up the remaining 20% of the flag. Another symbol used by the bisexual community also came out in 1998. Came out. You see what I did there? The Bi Crescent Moons was created by Viven Wagner in 1998. It was designed as an alternative to the Biangles. This was an attempt to move away from memories of the Holocaust and the persecution that came from it. Furthermore, Michael Page wasn't done with the bi community just yet. In 1999, he proposed a specific flower be used to signify and represent the bisexual community. That flower was none other than the trillium. The trillium, also referred to as wake robin, birthroot, triflower, or wood lily, is a flower that is comprised of 3 petals backed by 3 sharp-edged leaves. The petals along with the leaves form a 6-sided star. Michael Page simplified this shape, and thus the Trillium Flag was born. Fun fact, the Trillium Flag never really caught on here stateside in the United States of America. However, Mexico took this symbol on. In fact, many Mexican-born or Mexican-residing bisexuals point to the Trillium Flag as being their own. And now we're going to move on to the Pansexual Flag. Pansexuality is defined as attraction to a person regardless of their gender, gender expression, sexual orientation, or sex. This differs from bisexuality, whereas bisexuality represents attraction to multiple genders. Pansexuality concentrates on the person and is considered gender blind, doesn't really look at the person's gender or sex as even being a factor. The phrase hearts not parts is a common refrain within the pansexual community, meaning that it's who the person is, not what they are, that matters most in attraction. The Pansexual Flag was created in 2010 when it was posted on Tumblr by its creator, Jasper V. The flag is composed of 3 equally sized stripes, being magenta, yellow, and cyan. The magenta stripe is said to represent women. The yellow stripe is said to represent non-binary or gender non-conforming individuals, and the cyan stripe is said to represent men. Since its creation in 2010, there has been a discussion going on about the differences between pansexuality and bisexuality. Some people point out that pansexuals are more inclusive of trans and non-binary individuals than bisexuals. This is reasoned by the word bi being a suffix meaning both, saying that there's only 2 genders. However, bisexuals today do recognize that there are more than just 2 genders, and bisexuality just simply means attraction to multiple genders. The important distinction is that pansexuals do not see the gender or gender expression of somebody when they are attracted to them. Now, let's discuss the polysexual flag. Polysexual individuals are attracted to multiple genders. However, they may not be attracted to all genders. As an example, a polysexual man might find attraction towards men and non-binary individuals, but may not find attraction towards women or gender-fluid individuals. Alternatively, a polysexual man might find attraction towards women and non-binary individuals and gender-fluid individuals, but may not be attracted to men or agender individuals. The combinations therein are many. Polysexuals might find attraction to multiple genders, but the important part is that they might not find attraction to all genders. And by the way, polysexual does not have anything to do with polyamorous. We will, however, be discussing the polyamorous flag in a future episode. So if you would like to see that video, please hit the subscribe button so you can be notified anytime that I make an upload. That video will be coming up soon. Like the pansexual flag, the polysexual flag is comprised of 3 equally sized horizontal stripes. These colors are magenta, green, and blue. The polysexual flag was created in 2012 by Tumblr user Tomlin. That was a tongue twister. The polysexual flag was created in 2012 by Tumblr user Tomlin. Say that 5 times fast. Okay. Tomlin did take inspiration from the bisexual and pansexual flags when creating the polysexual flag, as both of those flags fall underneath the multisexual umbrella. And lastly, that brings us to the omnisexual flag. Omnisexuals are attracted to all genders, orientations, and sexes. What makes them different from pansexual or bisexual is that whereas pansexuals are deemed gender blind, the gender and orientation and sex of an individual doesn't attribute to the attraction felt by the person feeling that attraction. Omnisexuals see that sexuality, see that orientation and gender, and that is part of what initially causes them to find attraction. Basically, omnisexuals see the gender and they're like, wow, that is awesome, I love that, whereas pansexuals see the person for who they are. Pansexuals love the person, hearts not parts. Omnisexuals, I like everything. The omnisexual flag was created approximately July 4th, 2015 by Pastelmemer. The omnisexual flag consists of 5 horizontal stripes. The top 2 stripes are pale pink and magenta, representing femininity and women. The center dark purple stripe is representative of those individuals who don't fall within the gender binary. And the 2 bottom stripes of blue and light blue represent men and masculinity. While the Omni flag is a relative latecomer on the scene, being developed in 2015, the term omnisexual has been in use since the mid-1990s. And there you have it, folks. This video has been a closer look at the many multisexual flags that exist within our shared LGBTQIA+ community. Commonly, whether that be bisexuals, pansexuals, polysexuals, or omnisexuals, all of these different sexualities and orientations fall underneath the bisexual umbrella in the LGBTQIA+ community. If you've liked this video, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already so that you will be notified the next time that I put out another one of these videos. More videos about the various pride flags and their history are going to be coming out this month, so hit the bell icon so you can be notified the next time that I post. Until next time, friends, I love you all very much and happy Pride!
Both is good.